This podcast is for voice teachers and coaches to answer the question, how do I grow my teaching business and even break out of that one-on-one lesson model so that I can reach and teach who I want whenever I want? I'm your host, Allie Tyler, voice teacher of over a decade and marketing and business coach for fellow voice teachers. Welcome to the Voicepreneur podcast. Hey, lovely voice teacher. I wanted to give you a heads up that this episode you're about to listen to is repurposed from a different location. So you may be hearing an audio response to one of my one-on-one voice teacher clients, or you may be hearing a little snippet from a group call inside of the Voicepreneur program, or you may be hearing an audio broadcast that I send out to the teachers inside of my offer called The T. So these are really the three places that I connect with voice teachers on a regular basis. Now, the Voicepreneur program, or VP as we call it, is the space where you can have it all. You get access to all of the business and marketing courses inside of there, which is so much juicy content. I literally cannot begin to tell you. You also get hot seat group coaching with me twice a month, and you plug into a community of seriously incredible voice teachers who are walking the walk with you, and they are all over the world. So that is inside of our very special program called VP. Now, if you want a more affordable option, we have The T, and The T is specifically a broadcast channel on Telegram where you can submit questions anonymously, and every week I go in on Telegram and I answer them in the form of a voice text. The members call it like their private podcast channel. It's really fun, and it's a super great affordable way to get coaching without paying that coaching fee or the coaching fees or having to wait for a scheduled call, because you can literally submit your questions anytime that you have them. So you can check out these offers and everything else that we have here at the Voicepreneur inside of the show notes attached to this episode. I truly can't wait to hear how this lands for you, so let me know your takeaway on Instagram. Shoot me a DM at the Voicepreneur. Enjoy the episode. Okay, so when it comes to pricing your offer, as I said before, we really want to be looking at the different prices of each of your different offers and looking for a gap in your value ladder. When I think about a value ladder, and if you're a VP member, you know what I'm talking about. This is that ladder where you are stepping up one step at a time. The like shortest step, the smallest step is going to be your smallest offer, your lowest price offer. Then your next offer is going to be a little bit higher and more in value. Then your next offer is going to be higher and more in value, and et cetera, et cetera. You keep going up the value ladder, right? The goal is for people to walk up the ladder. And that's what's so fun about creating a value ladder and really thinking about all of your different offers and how they are essentially the subsequent offer to the one previous before it, right? It's like if they're going to be experiencing, a $25 offer, then they'll have, these types of transformations. And then they may want to up level and go into a $75 offer. And then they're going to have these types of transformations, which are even more valuable than the $25 one, right? And you kind of lead people through this ladder. Same thing as a funnel. They're the exact same thing. We have an offer funnel, and then we have funnels that are within offers, but that's a totally separate tangent that I could talk about. So you want to look at your different pricing structures. You want to find where the gap is. And here's the trick, y'all. Do not obsess about the price first. Just because you have an idea of, this is where the gap is, does not mean that we need to obsess about the price first. And this is where so many people get tripped up. They'll be like, I want to make $1,000. So I'm going to make a $100 offer. I'm going to get 10 people in it, and blah, blah. And then suddenly the whole motive is price. And now you're trying to create an offer based off of the price. And we don't want to do that, right? We want to have a ballpark range, for that price, looking at that pricing gap, and then create a transformation statement or a motive statement that aligns with that range, right? And so this is super important, because if you give yourself a range, let's say the range is $45 to $65, that's somewhere in that range, then you can create both a transformation statement and the different features that are going to go inside of that offer that appropriately fit that range. You have to be very mindful of this. It is so easy to add too many things. We all do it. I've seen it time and time again. I've done it myself. We think that more things equal more value. That is not the case, right? Be very, very mindful specifically of your time. So for me and this particular offer, it is going to be on Telegram. That means I need to calculate how much time this offer is going to take me, right? So if I'm doing, let's say, private coaching, and I say, you can ask as many questions as you want throughout the entire week. And then you get that client who asks you a million questions in 1 week. Not only do you have to listen to those messages, you have to respond to each of those messages, right? So you need to sit down and actually calculate, okay, wait, how many minutes do I actually have to listen to all these messages? And then how many minutes do I actually have to respond to all these messages? Oh my God, and now I've got 5 clients like this. Okay, wait, okay, now I got to times that by 5, right? You actually have to sit down and calculate it out. And that's what I did when I created these offers. And that helped me create very specific boundaries around each of these offers. Very, very mindful of my time. And then I would also correlate that with that pricing range, like I was talking about, right? It's like, okay, wait, I'm putting in a lot of time here. So is that worth $45? Is that worth $55, $65? And you have to kind of trim it back down a little bit. So that's really, really important that you make sure that the features, the boundaries, the elements that are inside of your offer appropriately fit that pricing gap, that range that you are coming up with in terms of how much it's going to be. That's huge. The other thing that really helps with pricing, I love doing this and I do this every single time I price anything, is I will come up with a price, I will sit with it, and Mika knows I do this because I change my pricing all the time. I'll be like, okay, Mika, this is the price. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, just kidding. I changed my mind. And the reason I change my mind is because what I will do is I will draft up either an email or a DM or, something that I'm going to send to someone who would be interested in this offer. I put the price of my offer inside of that DM or that email, and I sit with it for a second and I see how it feels. Because it's one thing to have it on a Google Doc, or it's one thing to have it on your phone notes app. It's another thing entirely when you are actually sending it to someone and you're like, oh snap, here we go. I'm going to hit send and this is going to be it. And this is my new offer. And so take a minute, sit with it after you've drafted that out to somebody, or maybe it's your email list, like whoever it is, and really feel into that price. Does that price really feel good? Does it really feel right? Are you going to resent it later? Right? If you need to go back and look at your time calculations to figure that out for yourself, go and do that too. But sitting with the price before you actually send it out is huge, because your intuition it just knows best, right? So that's really how I think about pricing. It's like you got that ballpark range, you create your transformation and motive statement that aligns with that range, you fit the appropriate amount of features and elements and boundaries inside of that transformation statement / range, trim it down if necessary, be extremely mindful of your time, calculate it out, especially if it's a one-on-one service, and then sit with the price before you actually send it out.
Oh my goodness, that was so juicy, and I'm so glad you're still here listening. You are amazing, and I can't wait to see what you take away from this episode and what you bring into your teaching business. Oof, it is going to be so good. If you want to come and see for yourself what it means to grow and scale your teaching business, come and check out the resources inside of the show notes or visit us over at thevoicepreneur.com. If you enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at The Voicepreneur. Or if that's not your vibe, that's totally fine. Share it with your 2 best voice teacher friends so that we can continue spreading the good word that you can create a sustainable, spacious, and fun as fudge cake teaching business that makes an enormous impact on your students' lives and your life and your bank account. It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see how your business changes your life. I'll catch you in the next episode.